Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's What's for Dinner video, I'll be sharing with you what meals we had this past week. Our dinners were easy to make, budget-friendly, and delicious. So if you're looking for some weeknight meal ideas for your family, just keep watching. Today's video is also a collab with Meaghan over at Meaghan's Story. I'm going to play a little clip for you from her, all about her and her channel.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Meaghan's Story. I'm Meaghan, and on my channel, you will find lots of What's for Dinner videos and tons of crazy, massive grocery hauls, and here we have so much fun. So after watching Meaghan's video, I hope you come by my channel and see what we have going on over here, and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. And thank you so much, and thank you Meaghan, this was so much fun. Let your light shine. Bye.
Thanks for collabing, Meaghan, and guys, as soon as you get done watching my video, make sure you head on over to her channel, show her some love, and let her know that I sent you. Alright, so first up, we did takeout from McAlister's. This was the day that we had driven back home from Kentucky for my grandpa's birthday and just didn't feel like cooking. So, like I said, we did takeout. My husband got their King Club and a side of their chicken tortilla soup, and then I got their club salad with their honey mustard dressing. So yummy, and that was our dinner this night. For dinner the next night, I made kielbasa with sauerkraut and apples. I'll be sharing how I made this in an upcoming video. It's a dump and go crockpot video. So if you'd like to see how I made that, keep an eye out for that. It is so quick and easy to put together. I know you'll love it. So to go with this, I made Mandy in the Makings green beans. I've shared this so many times before on my channel, how much we love these. My husband and I aren't big green bean fans. I mean, we don't hate them, but they're just not our favorite vegetable. But when I make it this way, we both really enjoy it. So I wanted to walk through how to make them real quick, as it's been a while since I've done that. So in this little pot here, I've got some bacon that I just chopped up, and I've cooked it until it is crispy. Next, I'm going to add in a couple cans of drained green beans. You can use whatever cut you prefer. I personally like the Italian. I will have Mandy in the Makings video with her recipe linked in the description box below for you. Next, I'm going to add in some chicken broth. In this case, I'm just using water and some of the powdered chicken bouillon. Next, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And I've made this so many times now at this point, I don't follow her exact measurements. I just do it to taste, but you know, you can feel free to use measurements or just season to taste. Next, I'm going to add in the brown sugar, and I do like to add a little bit more, just maybe a half a tablespoon more than what her recipe calls for. I'm going to give that a stir, and then we're going to bring this to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, and simmer it for about 30 minutes until pretty much all of the liquid has evaporated. Alright, here are those green beans, so yummy. And for the other side, I kept it easy. I just did some instant mashed potatoes, cooked them according to the package instructions. Whenever I do instant potatoes, I always like to zhuzh them up a little bit, so I added a little pat of butter, some milk, salt, and pepper to taste. Alright, here are the plates. So we've got the mashed potatoes, the green beans, and then the kielbasa, sauerkraut, apples, along with some honey mustard, and this dinner was absolutely delicious. So yummy, and like I said, keep an eye out for that dump and go crockpot video. The next night we tried a new recipe. This is from the Skinny-ish Dish. It's Greek turkey burgers. I'll of course have the recipe linked in the description box below for you. Let me show you how to put this together. This was so delicious. One of our favorite dinners this week. First up to my mixing bowl, I'm going to add in some ground turkey. Her recipe says you could also use ground chicken if you'd prefer to do that. I haven't made turkey burgers in a long time, but I forgot how a good recipe for a good turkey burger can be so delicious, and this one definitely was. To that ground turkey, I'm going to add in the feta cheese. Now, the recipe called for roasted red peppers. I thought I had some, but I did not. I had some pimentos. Pimentos are a type of red sweet pepper. They're more mild and sweeter than a red bell pepper, so I'm just going to use that, and they're already diced up for me. So I drained them really well and then allowed them to sit for a couple of minutes out on a paper towel to really get that extra moisture out. Now for the seasonings, I've got dried oregano, garlic powder, smoked paprika, salt, and pepper. Next, I'm going to add in some grated onion. To grate it, I'm going to use my microplane. Now, for the onion, like a chunk of onion would have been easier, but from last week when I made the onion straws, I already had these pieces of onion that were cut into that shape, so that's what I use. It was a little tricky to do that, but again, I wanted to use that up. Now, the recipe didn't call for any oil, but I wanted to add in just a small drizzle of olive oil to add in some moisture. You don't have to do that. And then I'm going to mix this with my hands until it's well combined, but don't over mix it. Just mix it until it's just combined. And then I've seen this on Rachel Ray for years and years and years. What I like to do is kind of press everything down and then just score it with my hands into, in this case, we're going to have 4 burger patties. That just kind of helps you eyeball it to make them a little more even. And I'm going to pat those out, and then we'll be ready to cook these. Now, because we're using turkey burgers, you want to make sure to use either a nonstick skillet or to grease it really well. And once I've added the oil to the skillet, I've got this on about medium-high heat. I'm going to add in my burger patties and cook them for about 6 to 7 minutes on one side, and then give it a flip and cook it another 6 to 7 minutes, or until the temperature reaches 165 degrees, and that's the internal temperature of the hamburger patties. With this being turkey, unlike beef, you want to make sure you cook it all the way through. To go along with this, I made some Greek potato wedges. I'll have the recipe that I used as inspiration linked down below. I didn't follow it exactly, but I did use it as inspiration. In this bowl, I just have some russet potatoes. I washed them really well, and I cut them into wedges. I left the peel on, but you can peel them if you want to. I'm going to add some oil, and then I'm going to add in some kosher salt. You could use whatever salt you prefer. Next, I'm going to add in some freshly cracked black pepper. And then for the seasonings, I'm going to use garlic powder, oregano, and the recipe said, that I was referring to rather, said to use regular paprika. I already have the smoked paprika out for making the turkey burger patty, so I'm just going to use the smoked instead. And then I'm going to add in some dried rosemary as well as dried thyme. And then I'm going to toss these together really, really well. Now, you could bake these in the oven. You could deep fry them. I'm going to cook them in my air fryer. So I just lined the potato wedges in my air fryer basket into a single layer, and I cooked them at 400 degrees for about 6 or 7 minutes, gave them a flip, cooked them for another 6 or 7 minutes. So this was after the first cook. And then this is after the second cook. Now, how long you take to cook them really depends on how thick you cut your potato wedges. Once they're golden brown and fork tender, they're done. The recipe suggested that once the potatoes were done, you toss them with some fresh lemon zest. So to be honest, I almost didn't do that because I was like, that kind of sounds weird to me, but I went with it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so glad that I did. That fresh lemon zest on these potato wedges, oh, so good. My husband and I both absolutely loved these potatoes. And like I said, that lemon zest, it was just delicious. It was so good. All right, so to finish up the turkey burgers, the Skinny-ish dish does provide a like tzatziki inspired sauce, but when I was at Kroger the other day, I had to run in for something real quick. I found this tzatziki, and it was originally like almost $5. Look at this. It was marked down to $2.40. So I grabbed that, and then I've got some baby spinach and a slicing tomato that I'm going to slice up. We were pretty hungry this night, so I decided to also do a Greek salad. So I've got some arugula, some of that feta cheese crumbles that I need to use up, cucumber, tomato, and then my husband loves olives, so I have these Kalamata olives. I'm going to skip it on mine, though, not an olive fan. And then I have this feta Greek vinaigrette that we're going to try, and we ended up really liking this. That vinaigrette was delicious. So first up is my plate. Gary was at the gym this night. So if you saw, I only cooked 3 of the turkey burgers at first and half of the potatoes. I finished cooking the other turkey burger and the rest of the potatoes closer to when he was getting home, so it was fresh from him. But we've got the burger, so all I did was take the buns, add some of the spinach, the tomato, the burger patty, and then some of that tzatziki. And then we have the potato wedges. I did serve some of the tzatziki on the side for dipping the potatoes in, which was delicious, by the way. And then we have the Greek salad. And this dinner, like I said, it was one of our favorites this week. It was so delicious. Everything had so much flavor. The turkey burger, don't let the turkey part turn you off. These were juicy and flavorful. Highly recommend you give this dinner a try. For dinner this next night, we just did leftovers. I apologize I didn't get a picture, but you've pretty much seen what we had for the most part. I had some of the leftover mashed potatoes and green beans from the kielbasa dinner that I made, and I also had one of the Adele's chicken sausages, the one with pineapple and bacon. I had one in my fridge that I needed to use up, so I just cooked that in the air fryer for myself. Gary ended up having leftover, I think one day this week he went to McDonald's to grab himself lunch, and he had a cheeseburger left over, so he had that along with a little bit of the Greek salad that was left over, and that was our dinner this night. Dinner the next night was another one of our favorites from this week. Delicious. I made teriyaki chicken tacos. Didn't follow a specific recipe for this, but I did use a couple as inspiration. I'll have them linked in the description box below for you. First up, I'm going to start with the grilled pineapple salsa that I'm going to put on top. So I just took some fresh pineapple and warmed it up in a skillet. You could grill it, but it was cold and rainy this day, and I didn't feel like fooling with the grill, so I just warmed them up in the skillet, chopped it up. Next, I'm going to add in some diced jalapeno pepper, some diced red onion, cilantro, a little bit of salt, and some fresh lime juice. And then I'm just going to stir that together, give it a little taste, and adjust to my taste. Now, you can feel free to substitute whatever you'd like. For example, if you don't like cilantro, just leave it out. If you don't want this to be too hot, you could just leave the jalapeno out. Now, once that's done, I'm just going to set that to the side while I prepare the rest of dinner. So here I've got some chicken thighs. I had these in my freezer. I needed to use them up, so I just let them thaw. I seasoned them on the first side with some of this Kinder's blend. This is salt, pepper, and garlic. And then I brushed some of this Sweet Baby Ray's sweet teriyaki sauce on it, flip the chicken over, and then I'm doing the exact same thing to the top. So just adding that seasoning and some of the teriyaki sauce. You can use whatever seasonings you like. So to cook these up, I just warmed some oil up and over about medium heat. I'm going to cook the chicken on both sides. I think I did about 5 or 6 minutes on one side, 5 or 6 minutes on the other side. These are boneless, skinless thighs, by the way. And you just want to cook it until it's at least 165 degrees internal temperature. Once they were done, I removed them from the skillet, allowed them to rest for a couple minutes, diced them up, tossed them with a little more of the teriyaki sauce, and then put them back into the pan for just a minute or two to let that teriyaki sauce kind of set. Now, next time I make this, which I'll definitely make these again, these were so good, I'm just going to start out by dicing the raw chicken thighs and cooking them that way instead of cooking them whole. I started out cooking them whole because I wasn't sure if I wanted to dice them or slice them, but diced was easier. So I would recommend, if you give these a try, for you to dice up your chicken, whether you're using breasts or thighs, and just cooking them that way. So to serve these up, I placed some of the teriyaki chicken onto a tortilla that I warmed up. I added some of that pineapple salsa along with a little bit of extra cilantro, and then I decided to add some sriracha mayo to the tops. That was so good. And then for the side, just to make it quick and easy, I did some of the chia tortilla chips from Sam's Club along with some mango salsa, and this was incredibly delicious. For dinner the next night, we just did some quick sandwiches. Gary was at the gym at dinner time. I forgot to get a picture of his sandwich when he got back, but it was basically the same thing. Just had a bologna sandwich. On mine this day, I had a slice of tomato with a little bit of mustard, along with Doritos and some grapes, and that was dinner this night. And for the last dinner in this week's video, we had Crockpot Tuscan chicken. I'll show you how I made this in that same upcoming Dump and Go Crockpot video, so keep an eye out for that. This was so easy to put together, and it was delicious. We really enjoyed this. Here's the finished dish. I did mix in some cooked pasta at the end. To go along with this, I wanted garlic bread, and I had a couple of the Lewis Hawaiian hot dog buns left. I really needed to use them up, so made them into garlic bread. All I did was take some softened butter, added in a little bit of salt, some Italian seasoning, and garlic powder. I rubbed that over the bread and then popped it into 400-degree oven for maybe about 8 to 10 minutes until the garlic bread was golden brown, and that was it. So to serve it up, just had the pasta, the garlic bread, and this was a yummy, yummy dinner. All right, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you liked this video. You got some dinner inspiration from it. If you did, hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and don't forget to go over to Meaghan's story and check out her video, show her some love as well. All right, thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.